Alright guys, first wash on the Q5, we coated, corrected, vinyl wrapped, did all that stuff too. So here we have two buckets. This is the wash bucket, this is the rinse bucket. Both have grit guards. For the soap, we're using Gaon Essence Plus, I think it's called. I'll insert a clip here. Foam cannon is filled with Gaon foam. A little bit of wheel cleaner, a little bit of all-purpose for the tires and the wheel wells. And we'll start with power washing all the stuff off. It was out in the storm yesterday to go get fast food and take us home. So the car's dirty. I would guesstimate it's had about, I don't know, 250 miles put on it since last week when it was coated. It's been through a few rainstorms. It's obviously dirty and ugly right now. You can see there's salt all over it. The wheels somehow don't have that much brake dust and they're kind of clean. The tires are dirty, but the shine should come right back up. And as you can see, it's filthy, but the tires and the car overall is clean. So we'll get into power washing it and pull some of the stuff off. So let's do it. As we can see, the car is beating up in some spots like here, but at the bottoms it isn't. That's because the coating is clogged by dirt. And as you can see here, it still needs to be washed for the full beating to come back. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna switch over to the foam cannon, foam the car up, let that sit for a few minutes and pull the dirt away. And then we'll get into the hand wash. The foam really pulls the dirt away, so you're not scrubbing in more dirt in the coating, keeping your swirl-free finish. So like I said, it's diluted 1 to 5 in here. So 200 milliliters of soap up to here, and the rest is straight water. So we'll get into that, make sure it's closed, it's open. Alright, as we can see, the foam is slowly pulling all the dirt away. We can see it on this edge, pull it down here, dropping down, and just pulling all the dirt with it. So you want to let it do its thing. This is going to pull most of the stuff away. As the foam drops down, it's encapsulating the dirt and pulling most of it with it. Now, this will need a hand wash still, especially since it's been through a snowstorm and it's a daily driven car. So we just got to give it some time, let the foam do its thing, let it pull away most of the dirt, and then we'll get into the wheel cleaner and so on and so forth. Now while this is doing its thing, you can grab your all-purpose and just hit your, wheel wells and whatever else you want all-purpose. I'm going to do the tires as well to knock all the dirt off and bring the Gaon tire shine back. The wheels, I'm going to wait until I get into the wash to do. These aren't really going to need a scrub, so there's no point of doing them now. They're coated, they're not too bad. So obviously the tire coating, or the wheel coating, has been doing its job of keeping them clean. And honestly, after the foam does its thing, they'll be pretty damn clean. We won't need to do much. Now, if this was a normal wash, you'd usually use some kind of all-purpose or scrub down the door jambs, but the car has been coated, so we're going to hit the door jambs at the very end, and then at the very end, after it's dried up and so on and so forth, we're going to hit the interior. That will probably just show you the after to keep this clip short, but there's no need to go and all-purpose your door jambs, especially if you do this once a week. There won't be enough dirt built up into there. or there shouldn't be at least, unless you went off-roading, that's a different story. But for normal use, this is good. So we're gonna let the foam do its thing and catch up in a second. So now that the foam's pretty much ran down, you're good to start power washing. Some people like to go up and down. It kind of matters, doesn't really matter when it's this dirty. If it was never touched, then yeah, up and down and rework the foam in. But for this purpose, we'll make it expected. The wheels look pretty clean without touching them. There's a little bit of dirt in here. Just spraying some wheel cleaner will get that off. I'm not sure if you can even tell on camera, but to our standards, there's still a little bit of stuff on that. As you can see, just after not even them being really clean, there's already beading on the wheels and the calipers. The beading will help you pull the dirt away. So if you look at the calipers, you'll see little baby beads here. Right, so that's trying to keep the surface clean. So we're gonna continue washing this and we'll catch up in a second. All right, now we're gonna foam up our buckets. So 2 buckets, 2 grit guards, wash, bucket, rinse. So you're gonna wash your panel, put it back in and rinse. Obviously top down the whole way. If you have a car with softer paint, like the new Silverados or like maybe a black Porsche Turbo, you want to do as small of a section as possible, and that is a Gaon. I forget what the mitt is called, but it's a Gaon mitt. I think it's a smoothie mitt. I think that's what they call it, but. Oh, and then before we start that, we're just gonna hit the wheels real quick. Come off with some cleaner. The windshield is coated as well, and as you can see, the soap doesn't even want to really stick to it. Before, if you remember, we were getting not this great of a performance. That's because of all the rock salt and stuff clogging the cores to the coating. So not what you'd expect from a coating. Like I said, that's because of the rock salt, and when we power wash this off, we should see if that is the case. And as you can tell, the beading is coming back in full effect. We'll show you the dry procedure, and then we'll see what it looks like dried up in the sun, and we'll see how the coating is held up through its first storm. Be right back.